Hi and welcome to the channel. I'm Judy Sanchez, and today we are going to do something amazing because we are going to look under the hood of your own body and discover how it heals itself. You are going to learn the system used for repairing damage, everyday things that help those systems, and then science-backed tips you can start using right away. So by the end of the video, you understand why sleep, nutrition, movement, and mindset really matter, and also how to support your body's natural ability to recover. The first thing is to understand the body as a self-repairing system. So think of your body as a city and every cell as a worker, tissues like neighborhoods, and organs like factories, each with a job. The body is not an inactive machine, but rather it's an active dynamic system that is constantly monitoring and making repair. There are two broad ways that the body uses to protect and repair. The first one is the immediate built-in defenses, which are physical barriers such as skin and mucous membrane, and cellular defenders such as neutrophils and macrophages. The second one is the adaptive repair and memory, whereby the immune cells learn and remember threats and also coordinate in longer term repair, also known as the adaptive immune system. So the first one, we said it's the immune building defenses, which is also called innate immune system. Now that we have understood the body as a self-repairing system, the second step is to understand the healing process. When the body is injured, say you cut your finger, the healing process follows a predictable set of overlapping stages, which they are in medical science, they are known as four main phases of healing. The first phase is hemostasis, whereby the bleeding stops. In this stage, platelets gather and form clots to stop blood loss. The second phase is inflammation. Here it's like the cleanup crew, whereby white blood cells arrive at the site and they remove the germs, damaged tissues, and dead cells. The next one is proliferation, where new tissues are formed. Fibroblasts build collagen and new blood vessels grow in the area. New skin cells migrate across the wounded area. The next stage, which is the last one, is called remodeling, whereby the new formed tissues mature and strengthen. At this stage, the scar tissues reorganizes and the affected part gain function over weeks to months. So if any stage is disrupted, either due to poor blood supply, infection, or chronic inflammation, wound may heal slowly or not at all. So therefore, factors such as good blood supply, adequate nutrition, and controlled inflammation are crucial for repair. So the immune system have dual role, that is defense and repair. Early immune responses clear pathogens, but greater immune signaling encourages tissue regeneration. In fact, the same molecule that causes inflammation can also signal growth and repair. The key here is timing and balance, which means that too little inflammation and infection can take hold, while too much or prolonged inflammation can get the tissue damaged and scarring. Chronic inflammatory states underlie many diseases, from poor wound healing in diabetes to fibrotic conditions of the liver and lungs. Researchers emphasize that tissue environments such as immune signaling, oxygen levels, and nutrient availability determine whether healing will proceed efficiently or turn pathological. Up to there, we have understood the process of healing and how the body heals itself. So the next is to understand how can we help the body to heal itself. And there are practical requirements for healing. The first one is oxygen. Cells need oxygen to generate energy, which is used for tissue rebuilding. Good oxygen blood supply is key because it brings oxygen, immune cells, and nutrients. So anything that impairs circulation, such as smoking, diabetes, or prolonged pressure, slows healing. Next thing is nutrition. Nutrient matters because proteins supply amino acids which are used for building new collagen and cells. Vitamins and minerals are also important. Vitamin C is used for collagen synthesis. Zinc is used for DNA repair and immune functions. and iron is used for oxygen and transportation. Chronic malnutrition or diets very low in protein and macronutrients reduce the speed and the quality of healing. Medical reviews highlight that oxygenation and nutrients as fundamental for wound repair. This is why clinicians check blood flow, control blood sugar in diabetes, and assess nutrition status in patients with chronic wounds. For healing, sleep is not optional. Deep sleep releases growth hormone which stimulates tissue growth and repair. Sleep also modulates immune functions, and many immune cells follow a circadian rhythm which is regulated by sleep cycles. It's important to note that poor sleep can increase inflammation and reduce immune efficiency. That's why people recover more slowly from illness and injury when they are sleep deprived. This has been backed by large bodies of research which shows that deficient and interrupted sleep increases markers of systemic inflammation and raises susceptibility to infection. Another requirement for healing is microbiome and body detox system. The gut microbiome trains the immune system and regulates inflammation, while an imbalanced microbiome can increase systemic inflammation and impair healing. The liver and the kidney metabolize toxins, and when overwhelmed, they can indirectly alter immune functions and slow healing. Current research link healthy microbiome composition to better outcomes in tissue repair and reduced inflammation, which suggests that diet probiotics can be part of a healing strategy. So, with now having understood the requirements that are needed for healing, how can you support the body to heal? There are various things that you can do. The first important thing is sleep. Sleep well. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep because sleep supports growth hormone and immune rhythms. The next one is nutrition. Eat repair focused food. You can prioritize on lean proteins, vitamin C rich fruits and vegetables, zinc containing foods, healthy fats and fiber. Avoid ultra processed foods. The next one is stay hydrated. Water is required for nearly all cellular processes, so stay hydrated. The next thing is to move gently. Circulation supports oxygen delivery, and appropriate movement speeds up healing. But it's important to note that you should avoid overloading injured tissues too soon. The other thing that you should always remember is to manage stress. Chronic stress elevates cortisol and can interfere with immune functions and wound repair. So, for stress management, you can use breathing, meditation, or social support. The last thing to do is to avoid toxins because smoking, excess alcohol, and environmental pollutants impair blood flow and immune responses. The main thing to note is that small, consistent habits have a big impact because healing is an ongoing cumulative process. It's not a one-time thing, but rather it continues slowly and gradually. To summarize, your body is built to heal itself. Immune cells, stem cells, blood flow, sleep, nutrition, and the microbiome interact to fix damage. So we can help by giving the body what it needs, which is sleep, nutrients, oxygen, movement, and calm, and by avoiding things that block repair, such as smoking, poor diet, and chronic stress. Up to there, I appreciate for you being together with me over this time. And if you have found this helpful, please like and subscribe and comment below. Tell me what topics you'd like me to dive into next. Thanks for watching. Be well and let your body do its brilliant job. Bye bye.